Welcome to part 2 of Gradebook Setup, Aggregation Methods. I'm Katie Nazarian, User Services Librarian at Mitchell College, and I'm going to explain to you what the aggregation methods do within your gradebook to ensure that you calculate your course total as you intend. From the Moodle Resource Center, I have set up a sample gradebook that shows a couple of the most commonly used examples of aggregation methods. On the left-hand menu, I can choose Grades, and then I can switch over to our Gradebook Setup tab to view the setup for this gradebook. This gradebook uses mostly the default settings for aggregation methods. Aggregation is just another way of saying calculation. So the aggregation method that you choose determines how your graded items contribute to the course total or your final grade. In this example, I have created different categories of assignments and quizzes. The first category I called quizzes and is worth 25% of the course total. It has 3 items in it, and each of them has a max grade of 10. In the next category, called assignments, I have named it assignments and it's worth 25% of the course total. There are 2 assignments, and each of them has a max grade of 100. In the next example, you can see that I have named my category midterm. It is worth 20% of the course total, and there are 2 components to the midterm. One component is worth 30% of the midterm grade, and the other is worth 70% of the midterm grade. They both have a max grade of 100. Because I wanted these to be weighted differently, I used a different aggregation method. Next, I have my final exam, which has 1 item in it worth 30% of the final grade, and I have my extra credit assignment worth 5 additional points. Note that each category total lists the aggregation method that is defined for that category. Here I have simple weighted mean of grades, but on my midterm total, where I've used 2 assignments with slightly different values, I've used weighted mean of grades. The default settings for your course gradebook will ensure that you have categories that can be weighted with individual items inside each category that are not weighted. If you don't plan to use a different method than that, then you can leave the default settings as they are. If you do intend to have a slightly different calculation for certain assignments or for your course total, you have different options. So what I'm going to show you is those different options and how they are defined. At the course level, you have a parent top level category named after your course. In my example, it is the Moodle Resource Center. Off to the right, I have an edit menu, and here I can choose Edit Settings. This allows me to see the settings for that category. The aggregation method is one of the most important choices that you have in the category settings. Here you'll see that you have 6 different choices. At the course level, the default is weighted mean of grades. This means that item weights within that category are defined by you. Point values do not affect the weight. Each item is first converted to a percentage, and then it is weighted. As you create categories, you'll see that they have the default setting of simple weighted mean of grades. This means that items are weighted based on their maximum point value. If all items in the category have the same max point value, they are weighted equally. You also have the option to choose mean of grades. Each item's point value is converted to a percentage first, then the percentages are averaged. As a result, all items are weighted equally, even if they have different max point values. Or you can choose lowest grade, which converts each item grade to a percentage, then keeps the lowest, or highest grade, which converts each item grade to a percentage, then keeps the highest. Finally, you have natural. Natural category total is the sum of all item values. The category is then weighted as a percentage of the course total. The max grade for a natural category is the sum of all items' max grades. So as you can see, there are lots of different choices for how your items will be graded and how they will be averaged to produce your course total. By using the defaults, you're likely to be using the same settings as most other faculty, although we do see instances where instructors have chosen to set up their gradebooks using one of the other aggregation methods. For any questions, please contact us by email, phone, or through chat on the library's website. We'll be happy to assist you or meet one-on-one to discuss your options further.